Welcome back to the Inner Circle show and the start of season 2. And in the light of trying new things, I'm going to mix up the format a little bit. So now we're going to have one Tesla video and one Palantir video every single day, rather than having a main show, which is then segmented into separate sections. I am still on jury service this week and I am remaining on call if they do need me. So if the videos aren't every single day this week, don't worry, I'm trying my best and I will get back up and running every single day as soon as possible. So let's catch up on everything that has been happening in the world of Palantir, and oh my, there has been quite a lot going on. But before we get into all of that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you do not miss an upload Monday through Friday. So whilst I've been away, Palantir stock has actually been doing pretty decently, but the company behind the stock is way more important than just the short-term stock price movements. So why has Palantir stock recently been going up and down? It's been a little bit all over the place, but overall it's been doing pretty well. Well, as per, many factors come into play here. One of the big ones being macro factors. For example, the CPI data we had and the Fed commentary that we've been receiving. But also we've had a few Palantir specific reasons that we will also cover. In the recent few months and the recent few weeks, one big thing that seems to be happening is the institutional ownership of Palantir has been on the rise. This just means that the number of shares of Palantir that institutions being things like mutual funds, pension funds, these big organizations that control a lot of money, have been buying of Palantir. I saw this over on X from Mike, and this is showing us the institution activities. And what you can see here is that many companies, many institutions have been actually starting a position in Palantir. But also on top of that, companies that already owned Palantir have been increasing their Palantir holdings, some of them by quite substantial percentages. And you can also see over on Fintel the institutional ownership of Palantir over time, and that has been gradually increasing. I have discussed this a number of times on the channel in the past, but seeing an increase in institutional ownership is a good thing for many different reasons. For example, it shows us retail investors that among the institutional funds, the big funds out there managing lots and lots of money, they are having increased confidence in Palantir as a long-term play. So they are now seeing something in Palantir. They're thinking that Palantir could do very, very well in the mid and long term that maybe us retail investors have been seeing for quite a while. But we also have to remember that some institutions will be trading this position more than others, meaning some of them will be very much expecting Palantir stock to increase up to the S&P 500 inclusion. Then they'll expect somewhat of a peak, and then they will take profit at the highs, if you will, and sell out of some of their positions. So we do need to expect that too. I've heard a few people asking the question, and I think it's a very reasonable question, about whether or not Palantir stock is now too expensive. It's been closing at above $28. It's been doing very, very well. It hit yearly highs during the week. It's up 70% year to date, all of these different things. So my thoughts on this are, it just depends how you're looking at this. Are you looking at Palantir as a long-term position? Are you expecting to be holding this company, holding this stock for many, many years? Or are you actually expecting more of a short to mid-term hold? Depending on which one of those camps you fall into, you'll probably have a different opinion. But yes, Palantir could be looking a little bit expensive right now in terms of ratios and other things that you could look at. But to me, the underlying business is doing extremely well. Both in terms of financially, it's building, it's very, very strong, but also in terms of momentum and deals that they are getting and innovation that they are showing. When I think about what companies I want to put my money to own a little bit of over the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years, Palantir without a doubt is one of those. We've also got to remember that we are still very, very early in this whole artificial intelligence revolution. There is still lots of growth there left, and for companies that can offer good solutions in terms of AI. And that's what I think we're going to see happen, and it's already happening. Money will move from those companies that are offering pretty useless AI solutions to those offering real-world useful solutions. And I think that's where Palantir shines. But do let me know if you think Palantir stock is too expensive right now and whether or not you are still buying. So that's a little bit about Palantir stock, the macroeconomic situation, and the institutional ownership. But now I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Palantir Oracle deal that has recently come out. So this isn't a new deal. This isn't the first time we've heard about Palantir working with Oracle. In fact, in April this year, we heard about a new partnership that they were having together. But now we've got even more information that is basically setting this collaboration in stone. So we've now been told that Palantir's Foundry and AIP have been certified on Oracle's cloud infrastructure and are now available across all of Oracle's distributed cloud deployment options. This partnership is basically aiming to help enterprises and governments to accelerate their AI initiatives by leveraging Oracle's cloud and AI infrastructure along with Palantir's platforms. Now, this is a big deal. This is actually really important for us Palantir investors to care about. Why? Well, because it expands Palantir's market reach so much. It allows Palantir to reach a much broader market, especially Oracle's existing customer base. And Oracle are not a small company. They have something like 430,000 customers globally. And more exposure for Palantir can then lead on to increased sales, which then can lead on to increased revenue in the future. And also, outside of revenue and potential new customers, this just adds even more credibility to Palantir and Palantir's solutions. It means that more businesses will be looking at Palantir and thinking, well, if they're working with Oracle and all these other big names, maybe they could actually help us as well, because obviously Oracle is a very well established and trusted company. So I'm obviously always excited to hear about any of Palantir's partnerships, but this one in particular is very interesting because, like I said, it does open them up to so many potential customers, and working with Oracle is a big deal. I also saw something else over on X which made me question whether or not Palantir's competitors, whether or not you think they're actually competitors or not, are maybe having a little bit of trouble. Snowflake and AT&T are moving lower today off of this story from Bloomberg this morning. AT&T says new hack includes reports of customer calls and texts. So let's just see what this says. So AT&T suffered a massive hack of customer data, separate from the reported one earlier this year. This included records of calls and texts for nearly all of its mobile phone users for a 6-month period in 2022. One of the biggest breaches of private communication data in recent memory. The company said in a regulatory filing Friday that the breach, which hadn't been previously disclosed, also included those records from customers of wireless service providers that used AT&T's network between the 1st of May 22 and October the 31st of that year. The company said it learned in April that the information was illegally downloaded from a workspace on a third-party cloud platform, which a spokesperson identified as Snowflake. Now, Snowflake are considered to be one of Palantir's biggest competitors. Now, do let me know if you agree or disagree with that in the comments below. But this initially did cause Snowflake and AT&T to drop in stock price. I think since then, Snowflake has recovered slightly. But I do think this is going to worry a lot of investors and potentially a lot of customers. And maybe some customers will be potential customers and existing customers of Snowflake might start to consider other options. Possibly Palantir. Now, Palantir, of course, has a really strong reputation for its robust data security and privacy. They, of course, have spent many decades working with government agencies whereby they are required to show the uppermost levels of security. And I personally think that this feature that they are able to offer customers is one of their biggest strengths. And alongside that, they are IL6 certified, one of only 3 companies across the entire globe that have that status. And they have their FedStart program. And like I said, they've had many years of working with government organizations where they've had to develop ways of keeping data very confidential and very private, highest levels of security. Now they are showing that across the enterprises as well. So we could actually see that Palantir becomes even more of an attractive option moving forward. Do let me know what you think about all of that in the comments below and what you've been doing with your Palantir position recently. Have you been buying more? Have you been holding back? Or have you actually been taking some profit off the table? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll be back with another very soon.